Imagine your dream car. I can imagine a lot of you are thinking about that Audi or that Lexus that you've always wanted, right? Well, for me, it's that Cadillac Escalade. You know, that big luxury SUV, all black, leather interior, butt warmers. You know the works. I can't imagine a lot of us are going to be walking into the dealership with a duffel bag full of cash, setting it on the counter and paying for it straight up. I think most of us are going to use credit or buy it with a bank loan. Everybody uses credit, and everybody gets rated on their ability to pay back that credit. So it's important to know as much information about the credit world as possible so that you can have the best financial future possible. Today I'll be discussing the 3 different types of credit, what a good credit score is and how to improve it, and what a good credit score is going to do for your financial future. First, let's start by talking about the 3 different types of credit. In a personal interview with U.S. Bank loan officer Greg Cox, 2017, he explained that the 3 types of credit are revolving, non-installment, and installment. Revolving is going to be lines of credit such as a credit card. It's going to be revolving because it's open until you decide to close it or the bank decides to close it. The second type is going to be non-installment. Now, non-installment credit is going to be something like a credit reserve line. It's going to be one lump sum paid to you and is expected to be paid back in full at the end of the month or time period specified in the terms. The third type is going to be installment loans. Now, installment loans are going to be home loans, auto loans, or home improvement loans. These are over a longer period of time because they're a lot more money than regular loans. These are installment because you're going to pay installments on it each month until it's paid off. Now that you know what the 3 types of credit are, let's look at some ways that you can start improving your credit and exactly what a credit score is. It's important to know exactly what a credit score is so you can truly understand how to improve it. A credit score is described in U.S. Official News 2017 as a 3-digit number that is based on information from your credit reports and histories. These reports and histories allow lenders and creditors to see how well you are about paying money back that you borrowed on time. U.S. Official News also stresses that it's very important to know that you don't just have one credit score, but that your credit score can vary depending on who's compiling the report and what variables you're using. So that's something to keep in mind. Now let's look at some steps that are going to help you start building your credit. The first step comes from Charleston Gazette Mail 2016. They explain that the very first step you need to do is start by ordering an annual report of your credit. By ordering an annual report of your credit, you're going to be able to see what they're reporting, how they're reporting it, and if they're reporting it correctly. If they're reporting it incorrectly, you could have your credit score could be suffering from this, and you need to dispute those charges. Now, the second step is going to be finding a credit tool that's going to work for you. A good start to credit is going to be a credit card. Everybody has credit cards or will have a credit card, and knows that they're a great way to start building credit as long as you use them correctly and responsibly. If you don't use them responsibly, you can fall into mounds of debt because credit scores have the highest interest rates of almost any loan that you can possibly get. So if you're coming out of college with a lot of loans from school, you don't want to come in with credit card debt as well. Money Magazine 2016 found that on average of high-income families, they saw over $8,000 of credit card debt a year. And they make over $150,000. I don't think we're going to make that right out of college. So we need to minimize that credit card debt as much as possible. We need to develop a strategy that's going to work for you each month so you can pay it off and be more financially strong. A great strategy comes from U.S. Official News 2017. They explain the 30% strategy. Now, the 30% strategy is going to be a strategy where you only use 30% of your credit card. That way you're able to pay off the full balance each month, and it makes you appear more financially strong. This is a great strategy to use, and you will see your credit score increase. The third thing is going to be Keebler Personal Finance 2016. They explain that if you're having trouble getting a rewards-based credit card, try a secure card. A secure card is not going to have that rewards of the cash back or the travel miles, but you'll still be able to improve your credit card greatly. A secure card is for someone that doesn't have any credit or has really bad credit. You can improve it greatly over a month or a year, and you can go back and get that credit card that you always wanted. Now let's look at how a good credit score is going to help you in your financial future. A good credit score is going to help you not only in the banking industry, but also in the insurance industry. Let's look back to that personal interview with U.S. Bank loan officer Greg Cox, 2017. He explains that the 2 main things that banks look at when defining or looking at your credit is they look at your DTI and they look at your credit score. Now, your DTI, or debt to income, is going to be the amount of money you make versus the amount of debt you have. Now, for all college students, that percentage is going to be very high, unreal high. I mean, it's going to be in the 400%, which is insane. But that's because we don't have any registered income and we have over 10 grand in school debt. So you're just going to have to work with that. The second thing to look at is your credit score. Now, your credit score has to be over a certain point to even be considered for a loan. If it's under a 650 for U.S. Bank, You are considered too risky, and you cannot even apply for the loan. You'll automatically get turned down. If you have above an 800, they're going to want to work with you because you're going to be a great, solid investment for that bank, and they're going to know that they're going to get the return back. That's why you have that negotiating power with the bank, and you can negotiate down the terms and the interest rate. Second, a good credit score is going to help you in the insurance industry. State legislation 2016 stated that insurance companies are allowed to use your credit score as a variable when determining how much you're going to have to pay in premiums. This means that the better credit score you have, the less you're going to have to pay in insurance. And we all know we're going to have to pay a lot until we're about 26, so you might as well find that break any way you can. So the better credit score you have, the less you're going to pay. Now let's look at how this information is useful. It's going to comply with Missouri State's pillar of community engagement, because you're going to be able to teach yourself, your children, and your peers to be financially strong. This is going to teach that community and build that community to be financially strong. It's going to allow that community to grow and become prosperous. Now, I talked about the 3 different types of credit, which are revolving, non-installment, and installment. I also talked about what a credit score is, that 3-digit number that's going to be based off your credit reports and histories, and how you can improve your credit score with the use of a credit card or secured card. I also talked about how not only is your credit score going to help you in the banking industry, but also in the insurance industry as well. So whenever I go buy that luxury car, or whenever you go buy that luxury car, I'm going to be able to walk into the dealership and get that nice leather Cadillac Escalade with the butt warmers that I've always wanted for the best term and the best rates. Hopefully you can use this information to your advantage and do the same.